Good day, friends. My last video on Bible and science has produced a lot of response, and I'm very happy about them. Most of the questions relate or they revolve around science has disproved resurrection of Lord Jesus, science has disproved God, and science has disproved the Bible. Today I would like to pick up the second question. Science has disproved God. Lots and lots of young people think and claim that science has disproved God. I interact with them all. In fact, I have been interacting with this question for the last 50 years. And the result is always the same. A young man comes with great enthusiasm. He says, "Sir, science has disproved God," and then we discuss it. Let me pick up one of these stories as an answer to all those who asked, "Sir, science has disproved the existence of God." The story will illustrate everything clearly. Few years ago, I used to have an exhibition known as Bible Literature in a place known as Gwalior, very famous for Gwalior raids and many other such things. One day, a young man came from the nearby engineering college and he wanted a Bible. We sold him a Bible. After a week, he came back and said, "Sir, I have read the Bible. I have underlined it everywhere. And I want to argue with you to disprove the existence of God." Now, for me, that was not the first time. I said, "Fine, you're welcome to argue and disprove that God doesn't exist." I asked, "Tell me, do you want to argue on the basis of religion or on the basis of science?" Oh, he said, "Nothing to do with religion. I'm an engineering student, I represent science, and I will argue from science that God doesn't exist." I was very happy. So on the appointed day, he visited me and we had a very good time exchanging pleasantries. And I said, "Okay, now you have come to disprove that God to prove that God doesn't exist, or you have come to disprove the existence of God." He said, "Yes, sir." I once again asked, "Okay, let us make things very clear. Do you want to argue on the basis of science, religion or philosophy?" He said, "No, sir, I am a student of science. I want to argue on the basis of science." I said, "Fine, we will keep it strictly a scientific question." And then I asked, "Okay, science proves or disproves everything with the help of experiments. Do you agree or not?" He said, "Sir, I agree. Science proves everything with the help of experiments. Science disproves everything with the help of experiments." And the best example is the Michelson-Morley experiment. In 1800s and 1800s, they thought that there is a universal fluid known as ether which permeates the entire universe. It could not be seen, it could not be tested, but then Michelson and Morley devised an experiment with the help of which they proved that the existence of ether could not be established. So I said, "Do you agree with this?" He said, "Yes, sir." Okay. I said, "Now let us begin the debate. You said you want to establish with the help of science that God doesn't exist. Tell me which experiment or which proof of science or which law of science or which fact of science disproved the existence of God." He did not expect that question. He scratched his head and he said, "No, sir. If we go that way, nothing is going to happen. You tell me, you give me the proofs for God. I will refute them all and that will prove that God doesn't exist. I said, young man, first of all, it's not I who came arguing, it's you who came arguing, so don't ask me for arguments. And second, even if I present all the possible arguments for the existence of God, and if you refute them, it only means that those arguments are not invalid. Refuting those arguments doesn't prove that God doesn't exist. So you tell me the experiment, the law, or the established fact of science which has disproved God. After much scratching of his head, he said, Sir, give me another week. I'll think it over and I will come and argue with you. We offered him tea and eatables, as is the custom in North India. He hardly participated in those things. He was not interested in indulging. And he said, Sir, definitely within 1 week I will come. That week turned into months, months turned into years. He never came. The reason is very clear. Though there is a lot of claim that science has disproved God, these are only claims. Science establishes information with the help of experiments. And therefore, if science has to claim that God does not exist, it has to do it on the basis of experiments. They have to tell on the basis of laws, establish facts as to why God doesn't exist. Nobody has been able to do it. Listen to me. Nobody has ever been able to do it. And therefore, all this claim that science has disproved God is bogus. It is humbug. It is an attempt to brainwash you. It is an attempt to intimidate you in the name of science. So, my friends, this evening, let me remind you once again, if somebody comes to you big sounding, very emphatic, hey, don't you know that science has disproved God? Tell them, no, I don't know. Tell me. Mention that law of science, mention that established fact of science, or mention that experiment of science which proved that God doesn't exist, or which disproved the existence of God. They will be silent. They will ask for time. They will sneak away, never to come back to you for arguments. Those who are listening to me, I want to tell them one thing. There's a lot of propaganda in the name of science. There's a lot of propaganda against Bible, against statements of the Christian faith, against Lord Jesus. Don't fall for them. These are only propaganda. These are only slogans. And don't run away from them. Face them. Ask them to produce evidence. And ask them to produce factual evidence. Not what somebody said or somebody else said or this philosopher or that philosopher. People have said a lot of things, and what people say is not science. Science works on the basis of experiments. Even theoretical physics, though it is a part of science, whatever they say or claim in theoretical physics has to be established with the help of experiments. Till then, it remains a theory. That's the real situation with science and the existence of God. We hope to present hundreds of videos like this. Please don't miss any of them. Under this video, there is a subscribe button. There will also be a bell icon. Please press them so that the moment we post another exciting video about Bible, science, evolution, reason and Christian faith, you will get an immediate notice. You're also welcome to send your questions to me. I will give you my WhatsApp number. You can contact me in Malayalam, Hindi, or English language via text or via audio. Here is the number 751 019 8690. I'll repeat the number once again 751 019 8690. Send all those questions. I thrive on questions. I love questions. Or you may say, what if you are unable to answer any question? Well, if I am unable to answer any question, I'll honestly produce another video saying that such and such friend sent me a question which I am unable to answer. Anyway, this has not happened for the last 50 to 55 years. Though I am not all-knowing, this thing has not happened. So, please send all your questions. One more request. I am focusing these videos on Christians, and therefore I have a request. Friends, atheists, agnostics, and the so-called rationalists are doing a lot of work against the Christian faith, and their people share their videos. Christians should do the same. Please share this video with all your friends, all your acquaintances, and also in all the WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups where you can share. God bless you.